Welcome to Sanctuary. We here at Critical Role are thrilled to be part of this celebration of the 30th anniversary of Blizzard, and of course the announcement of Diablo 2 Resurrected. I'm super excited about. And as part of that, we are putting together this very special 100% original Diablo one-shot today set in this awesome universe. I've been a fan of Diablo since the first one. It was one of the reasons I first bought a PC back in middle school. I'm old. And just super excited to be able to play in this space today with these wonderful people. Speaking of wonderful people, let's go ahead and do a round of introductions to our players for this one shot, beginning with Mika Burton.
Hi, I'm Mika. I'm going to be playing a wizard, and I'm super excited to kill a lot of things, because that's what Diablo's about, right? That's what Diablo's about?
That's kind of what Diablo's about. You
Sweet.
got this. You got this.
Awesome. I got this.
Yeah. Laura Bailey.
That and looting, because that's what I'm here for. I am Laura Bailey, and I'm playing Druid today.
Brilliant. Liam O'Brien.
Hello, I'm Liam O'Brien, and I'm going to be the Crusader for the group, and I'm excited to be the tank in a D&D game for the first time ever.
Carlos Luna.
Hey, I'm Carlos Luna. I'm going to be playing a necromancer with a little demon worm in his brain. So yeah.
You do.
Perfect. Like you do.
Yeah.
And Marisha.
And I am Marisha Ray, and I will be playing a demon hunter. Not voiced by Laura Bailey, even though she's at this table. Pew pew.
Meta awkwardness.
Those are my crossbows.
Is that the sound they make? Pew
Yeah.
pew? I love it. Perfect.
Maybe we could find one moment in the game, though, where you could throw your voice and you could just sort of ADR.
Yeah, can you
Sure.
lip,
Yeah,
Live
yeah, yeah.
ADR it. Perfect.
watermelon. Yeah, ooh, that's good, Marisha.
All right, no more of that.
Squash that immediately.
Exactly. If you want to watch this campaign again or check out any of the other amazing free content as part of this BlizzCon line event, visit blizzcon.com. And tonight's adventure that you'll see here shortly will be available on our Critical YouTube channel soon enough. Thanks to Blizzard and BlizzCon for bringing us to be a part of the celebration and to make this game possible as part of the event. I think that's it. So, that all being said, let's go ahead and jump into this special one-shot for BlizzCon line, Diablo. In the world of Sanctuary, darkness carries far. The mortal realm between the high heavens and the burning hells. Life in these lands is ever a struggle, caught in the middle of this eternal conflict. The hearts of men fall easily to corruption, and the ancient evil ever seeks to spill into this world to sow chaos and blanket the realm in fire and shadow. In a time of shallow peace, you've each set out to make your fortunes in the world, whether to combat the evil that lurks in every lightless space, or to seek the answers to the countless forgotten mysteries that call out to the curious. You've come together in finding common purpose against the plague of evils, and made a name for yourselves in the region of Westmarch. Here, you found yourself summoned by a Herodric scholar called Deckard Cain. Under the dim call of candlelight, Deckard asked for your aid. Hello, my friends. I have heard of your great deeds already, and find myself in need of others in such skills as yours. The home of my youth, the humble village of Tristram, fell to flame and evil years ago. Abandoned, the ruins of Tristram have since been nothing but ash and memories, often targeted by looters and grave robbers. However, rumors swirl of something dark and violent stirring beneath the cathedral. And, given the history of that place, I've foreboding worry of what might be lingering there. I would ask you 5 to journey to the ruins of Tristram, seek the source of these rumors, and cleanse the cathedral of what terrors might reside below. I'd like to put the souls of those lost finally to rest. After braving days of freezing wind and the persistent rain that still haunts you.
10 out of 10.
Indeed. Sorry, Michael Goff. You finally reach the edge of the surrounding hills, looking down to the ghastly echo of the village once known as Tristram. Walking through the mud and charred foundations of what you imagine was once a modest township, you can't help but imagine what horrors must have fallen upon the denizens. Slowly your eyes fall upon the partially crumbled stone structure to the north, the cathedral. You grasp at your weapons tightly as you enter the semi-fallen structure, finding solace within here from the rain. Stepping across the stone floor, your vision skips from broken window to fallen candelabra, until you find the staircase descending into the depths below. A shine catches your eye, seeing a single gold coin resting atop the first stair. As you descend these steps into the first layer of the crypt below, what do they see as the demon hunter sets in?
2 heavy footsteps. Step in. And you see a big skull, a cow skull first. It has detail of gold filigree emblazoning it, with the general calf skull motif on the rest of her armor, with little flecks of gold, and 2 crossbows. This is Toro, the demon hunter, returning home to her hometown of Tristram. But she hasn't been here since she was a little girl, growing up on her cattle farm. And she is most definitely no longer recognizable to anyone who might know her.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
Laszlo, come on, get in here.
Yeah, of course. And you see Laszlo step in. He's a young man. His forearms are missing flesh and skin. It's just bone that you can see, and it's surrounded by this purple glow around it. Same thing with his left calf as well. He has 2 scythes, and they look like barber blades, like shaving blades. That's how they're shaped, like almost like L shapes. And he's very wide-eyed, but at the same time, you would notice that his body language and his eyes kind of change sometimes, and he starts hunching and smirking, and then back to wide-eye again. Oh yes, right away. Yeah, okay.
All right. As you tumble down the stairway to follow the demon hunter companion, Mordred, if you don't mind.
Shining in the darkness is Mordred the Gaunt. Not a hair on my head, bald and pale and dark of eye, sallow-cheeked, in golden armor of lattice work shining with my Zakara, a word I looked up on Wikipedia earlier today. I carry a morning star and a tall, slender shield. And I look with a lean and hungry gaze. wanting to eliminate corruption. Stay close.
As Mordred steps into the central landing chamber, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, before you ever see Remuel, you hear the swarm of insects that follows her, a buzzing that enters the room before she does. She steps in, hair over one eye, a bit of a mess. Green and black armor, it's more like vines and reptile skin. 2 snakes encircle her arms. They look around, her fingernails very long. She seems happy to be here.
And following in, the final member of this troop.
At first, Indra walks in and she fixes her hair as it's been messy on the ride in. She immediately goes to the gold and picks it up off the floor and scoffs at everyone who didn't realize there was treasure lying there. And you see these beautiful raven feathers encircling her neck, kind of like a collar. Very beautiful cleavage on display in a tiny raven feathered bra top. I also on Wikipedia saw that this is the wizard couture. Just kind of one swath of blue fabric going across, kind of making this very skimpy dress. Interestingly, her right arm is completely burned up to her forearm, and she has some gold fingernails, probably smelted from all of her loot. And she has a large staff that swirls with dark magic at the end of it. She says nothing, but she pockets the gold into her cleavage.
You got it. As you all finally descend the last bit of stairs, you finally land in the crypt entryway chambers. You can see immediately in the torchlight that you have carrying into this lightless space, glistening sparkles. Other smattering of scattered gold coins, maybe a dozen or so, that kind of spill out in the middle of the old, dusty stonework that greets you here. The smell of decay and old, musty, stale air catches your nose. You can see alcove displays nearby in the sides of the stone walls and the low ceiling. Statues, angelic statues, sit within these little alcoves, though in various states of disrepair, while numerous puddles of wax form at the corners of various elements of decor, where candles once lit these chambers before they burned down to nothing. A faint growl echoes in the shadow, beyond your sight. As you all continue on a bit, keeping your eyes peeled, the pathway splits into 3 directions, a T intersection. So early in this crypt.
Any indication of which direction the growl was coming from?
Make a perception check.
Are there any clay pots around?
Make a perception check.
17.
17. Very good, actually. The growl, while the echoes seem to be somewhat amorphous at the distance, you listen closely and can hear a faint bit of like grinding and another low guttural rumble similar to that initial growl from the path directly ahead. You rolled a
13.
13. Yeah, there's a pot right to the left of you. It smashes and breaks to the ground, leaving 4 gold pieces. Because why wouldn't there be gold in a pot in a crypt? Diablo. All right.
Well, it seems as if trouble might be awaiting us ahead. Do we want to start there or pick one of the sides?
Straight ahead, I say.
We're here to eradicate the darkness.
No point in wasting time. Let's go.
Bag of bones, so scared on the inside. Bag of bones does not want to go. Onyx does. And he scurries off.
That guy creeps me out every time.
Every time.
Laszlo is in a mood today. All right.
Moving forward, as Laszlo, you are taking point on this one. Creeping forward, you initially step through the stone arches, and you can see they're deep set with cracks all around you. The crunch of shale and bone breaks beneath your boot falls as you step, it loud in your ears amongst the still silence that surrounds you. The hall carries on for quite a bit forward, but the walls begin to narrow ever so slightly before finally coming to an end, where you can subtly see with the torchlight as it approaches behind you, looks like a pile of corpses lie on the ground. Human at one part, but even just at a quick glance, you can see they're bloody and torn apart.
You guys would notice that the back of Laszlo has kind of changed from like hunched over to like up straight and like darting his head like left and right. There are corpses
Yeah,
everywhere.
we're in a cathedral. Yeah, there's a tomb down here.
Are you surprised by the fact that people are we knew people were dead down here?
Well, I know that. I just meant, yay for us. We picked the right way, okay?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
How fresh do the bodies look?
If you'll make a medicine check to go and inspect.
Do I have medicine?
Should be a skill there. Doesn't mean you're good at it necessarily. But
There's no medicine.
Yeah, there's no
There's
medicine.
survival.
sorry. Medicine.
Oh.
I did remove that one. Nature then.
Nature.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh, that's not good.
Which is weird.
But seeing as how I grew up in a swamp and all, 17.
17. Not too bad. Inspecting the bodies as you kind of lean down and look across the corpses, the blood is congealed. They've been dead for a little bit of time, and some look fresh, some look old, almost like something keeps coming back to feed at times. But some of them are very fresh, and you can see where the bone has been splintered and broken. There are gouges in the exposed elements of the heavier white bone that peeks out, teeth marks, claw marks.
An animal did this. I would know.
That growl creeps back in, and you kind of hearing that glance up, and just as you catch the edge of the torchlight, the height of the building, your eyes now see lining the upper roof and ceiling of this chamber, a dozen or so of these gray-skinned humanoid beings with elongated limbs, all just kind of hanging quietly, waiting as the torchlight glistens past their eyes, reflecting once. And in that brief moment of tension, as you hear that growl, they all begin to leap down towards you, and everybody roll initiative.
Oh my god!
As it begins, you see swarming down 10 of these ghoulish creatures begin to just surround and tear and gnash. 3 of them are going after you.
Cool.
3 of them are going to be swarming you, and then it's going to be... So we'll do yours first. So the 3 against you. It's a miss. It's a 12 hit. Miss. And that does hit. So 2 of them go streaking up towards you, claws towards you. One of them holding a giant hooked, rusted blade, swings it wide and cuts into you for 3 points of physical damage. So the 3 on you, not much of an effect. The 3 that are swarming you, Laszlo, that's going to be a 10, which I believe misses. 18, which does hit.
That is.
And 21.
Yeah.
So as you're backing away, you start seeing yourself swarming as these creatures rush towards you, their jaws open with horrible spiked teeth, almost like thick greenish phlegm-like liquid pouring out of the inside of it as they run towards you, claws out. As they slash, you take 6 points of physical damage from 2 of them manage to break through your defense.
Our hit points are not very high.
2 end up swarming towards you, Toro. 21
Hits.
and an 11.
Miss.
All right. As they both come kind of swarming up towards you, one jumps up and you manage to catch it with the side of your forearms and shove it off of you, but at that point another one crawls up and ends up biting into the side of your shoulder and clavicle area. You take 3 points of physical damage. And the last 2 would be one against each of you. That is a 24 versus Mordred and a 9 versus Indra.
Doesn't hit.
All right, so you take 3 points of physical damage, Mordred, as one of them jumps up onto your shield and claws over and just catches the side of your forehead there. You can feel the blood beginning to run down into your eye. Top of the round now, Indra, you're up first.
I'm going to electrocute. You said there are 3 over here on Remy?
There are 3 on Remy, yes.
Okay, I'm going to try and electrocute one of them and 2 other next to it.
You've got it. All right.
Yeah. Which is a DC of 16.
Gotcha. So as you reach out with your staff in one hand, you see this energy begin to charge up into your arm and then suddenly rocket out towards the one and spread off and forks into the other 2 that are right next to you, Remy. You watch as the electricity charges through their body. That is, what's the DC on that? Is 16?
16 dexterity.
That's a fail, and a success.
Darn.
So go ahead and roll damage on those.
All right. That's 11. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, as it shocks through them all, they shrink back and scream. 2 of them look extremely hurt, but they're still holding on and they're hungry. And they're just running on starved instinct at this point. None of them fall, but they're looking pretty damaged. Do you want to stay put towards the back?
As a bonus action, I'm going to teleport a little bit further, just kind of out of any
got it.
physical range.
All right, so you watch as Indra suddenly vanishes from sight, and you hear footfalls in the darkness behind you by about 20, 30 or so feet. All right, finishing your go, Indra. That brings us to Laszlo. Toron, you're on deck.
Great. There's 2 in front of me now? There's 2 on me?
There's 3 on you.
3 on me. Gotcha. I want to grab one by the head and cast Siphon Blood.
Okay. Alrighty. Good stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll attack on that one.
And that is a 12.
12 just hits. So as you reach out and grab it and pull it in, now with the light there, you can see its eyes. It's kind of like odd, milky, white, greenish tint to it. What's the damage on that one?
9.
9 damage?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
As you pull out of it, you watch as it screams and squeals, and you pull the life force, whatever element of life force still remains in this odd, twisted abomination. It damages it heavily, but it's still standing and wriggling in your grasp. You do heal 1d4 damage from that, though.
3.
Okay. And don't forget to mark your essence you get from that one. Cool. Do you want to stay put, or do you wish to move back?
As a bonus action, I'd like to cast Devour.
You Devour would require the corpses nearby.
Oh, aren't there corpses?
Oh,
on the
there
floor?
are actually, yes,
Yeah,
there are.
there's like a bunch of
You can
corpses,
totally do that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was like, they're not dead. Other people are. Yeah, you can.
How many are fresh within
5
30 feet?
5 fresh corpses in the sense that their essence has not been taken.
What a cheerful necromancer.
Yum.
Nom nom nom. Like corpses.
Fresh baked bread. Great.
So there you go. So you go ahead and get your essence from that one.
Yep.
And you're staying put?
Will they get a attack of opportunity if I?
They would.
They would. Yeah, I'll stay put.
Okay, you got it. Got it. All right, cool. That finishes Laszlo's turn. Tori, you're up. Mordred, you're on deck.
Okay, I am gonna try to shuffle this one that's on me off a bit. And I'm gonna pull out one of my crossbows and go doof, doof, hungering arrow twice into the side of its head.
You got it.
Pew pew. Ooh. First one is a natural 3, which I don't think hits with an 11.
Just misses, unfortunately. It's too close
Just
to you, and it's
misses.
writhing in your grasp, and it goes wide.
But the other one is a natural 19 for 27.
That definitely hits.
Which is 1d6. Okay, plus 8 damage.
Nice. So that one also, it goes right in the head, and part of the head kind of breaks off, and you can see the open wound there. It's heavily hurt, but it's still holding on.
Okay.
Angry and hungry. Staying put?
Yes.
All right, that finishes your go. Mordred, you're up. Remy, you're on deck.
Roughly how many of these are there total?
They're all pretty clustered right now.
Yes.
Since you guys were all in the same area, there are 10 of them currently in the middle of this battle. All of them are within 15 or so feet of you.
And there's one on me.
There's one on you.
I'm going to back away from it intentionally, risking an attack, and provoke all of them.
Okay, so it takes one swing at you for 20. So you take 3 points of physical damage, but you manage to pull away, and you're going to provoke, you said.
All 10 of them need to beat a DC 14 wisdom save. And for every
Got it.
failure, I rack up wrath.
Indeed. All right. What's the DC?
14.
14. First one is a success.
Boo.
Fail. 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 Fail.
So wait, did you just
Success. Fail.
like lured them all onto him?
Fail.
That's cool.
That's a good tank.
Yeah.
Fail. So 2 succeeded. So it's 8 that
8 total.
8 that failed.
So I'm going to back up and stop 5 feet in front of Indra, drawing them toward me. They have to attack me, and I now have full wrath.
There you go. So, describe how that looks to the troop here.
Oh, I just back up and say, "Come, lost ones."
Lost one. Yeah.
Perfect.
Make your peace quickly.
And the armor just starts to glow through the lattice work as they start to... as he backs away towards
You've got it.
Mageling Nerd.
Awesome. So you watch all these creatures, even the ones that are up in your faces, all of a sudden turn, except for like a couple of them, turn over towards Mordred, begin to make their movement when it's their next go. Remy, you're up.
Okay. Number 1, the swarm of insects starts to get louder and louder. And for my bonus action, I'm going to have my swarm of insects swarm the one that attacked me, the one that actually got the hit in.
You got it. Alrighty. That there is. Go ahead and roll for the attack on that.
20.
20 definitely hits.
All right. So that does 2d4, 5, 7 points of damage to the little.
Oh,
And then I would like to hold my action, my attack, until the creatures move towards.
you've got it. All right. Although, actually, I'm gonna keep that in mind of that, because you start with 0 spirit, you have to build it up, and that does cost spirit.
Oh, you start with
Start
0.
with 0. Yeah, you got to build it up.
Good to know.
That's all good.
I understand now. In that case, screw it. I'm gonna maul the one in front of me too.
All right, you got that. Okay, so
Instantly, poof, I'm turned into a giant were crocodile. Reptilian, very large. Very large
No.
mouth.
you got it. All right, so using your action to maul the one that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an attack on that one. Well, you use the same attack since you already rolled for that one.
Okay.
So we'll carry that over. Go ahead and roll damage for the maul against the one that attacked you.
7.
7 damage is still enough. So as you swoop out, you watch as this giant crocodile face suddenly sprouts from the front of Remy and slams down onto one of these creatures. It screams from the inside, muffled once it's enclosed in the mouth, and as the jaw tightens, it goes limp, spitting it onto the ground.
Nice.
Cool, so you are currently transformed, which means you do get your bonus to AC while you're shapeshifted.
Oh, sweet.
All right. That did generate spirit, so now you could also swarm, now that you have that to use, if you wanted to.
Well, there you go. I'll do that too then. So I'll roll for attack on that one.
You got it.
That definitely hits. That's a 21.
All right, roll damage for the swarm now.
10.
10, yeah, that'll do it. So after that one falls limp, you pull back, angry in your gator form. You watch as the insects swarm around one of the second ones that was still kind of recoiling from the shock that was delivered by Indra at the beginning of this combat round. And as the insects swarm around it, it begins to screech loudly before the silence hits. The insects pull away and you see mostly skeletal upper torso as it falls to its knees and splats on the ground, dead. All right.
Nice.
You finishing your round there?
Yeah.
All right, Laszlo, you're up. Toro, you're in deck.
Okay.
Actually, no, sorry, the creatures have to go first.
Yeah.
My bad. So the swarm that's there, two of them have fallen. There's still one against you, Remy. That's going to be an 11 to hit, which misses. Goes against you. 3 still up against you. But this one actually is now going to, the 3 against you are going to go after you. So they begin to rush away in your direction. Let's see there. That's a 24. Rolled a natural 19.
You get an attack of opportunity against the ones that run away from
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Against one.
Yeah. So you just take a singular strike against one of them if you want to with your Siphon Blood.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that. 14.
14 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that. Cool.
13.
13. All right. The one that's rushing away from you, which would have been the one that first attacked him, so that one's nullified, tries to scoop away, and as it does, you manage to slam it with your siphon blood. And as you do, you pull the last bit of its undead life force out, and it crumples to the ground and kind of withers in the spot like a spider curling its legs in.
No.
So that first attack does not actually come at you.
Hey. That's my necromancer.
So
Your local necromancer.
one miss and a second miss. They both come at you, rolling terribly. The other two that were coming at you, one of them stays.
Okay.
So the other one that succeeded, so that one's going to be against you. That is going to be an 11 to hit.
Miss.
Misses. The other one runs towards you. You do get an attack, although you are ranged at this point. So I will say that you don't necessarily have that.
Okay.
That is a 12 against you. All right, and then there's the two that were already on you. 12 and 14.
No.
Does not hit. And the last one that's against you rushes past and heads over towards you as well. That's going to be a 12. They're rolling real bad.
Back to the darkness.
So now there is a mighty swarm of these surviving ghouls that are all just kind of scrambling over and around the proximity of Mordred, who's just like pushing back with the shield, flail kind of spinning in the air angrily, getting amped up. That finishes their go. Now we're back to Indra, and then it's Laszlo.
I'm gonna just electrocute kind of in the middle, just if they're all kind of piling around him, just trying to hit 3 again.
Sure, you can do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll for an attack.
All right. Oh wait, no, it's a DC 16.
Oh, that's right, because it's not a roll attack roll.
Yeah.
That's a success. Success, wow, they're rolling high. And a fail.
All right.
Let's go roll damage on that.
10.
10 damage, all right, so that's 5. Still takes out one of them who was previously damaged by the electrocute before.
Dope.
And then the other two take half damage. So the energy sparks off, and the other two that it hits, after the first one pops from the pulse of electrical energy, the other two get shaken by it, but still continue to focus their attention angrily on Mordred, though some of them are starting to lose their luster, fighting against this iron wall of a person. All right, anything else you want to do from your side?
Yeah, since Mordred brought all of them to me, I'm going to teleport again on the other side.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm going to use my bonus action to...
Thanks a lot, Mordred.
All right, so Indra's just playing teleporting chess piece over there.
Yeah.
Finishing your turn, Laszlo, you're up. Toro, you're on deck.
Okay.
As soon as the other guy hits the floor, Laszlo's demeanor changes again, and now he's kind of near the ground, pushing corpses aside to look for one that looks just about right. And Onyx is just like, "Oh, second chance, friend. Yes, second chance. Ooh!" And I'm gonna cast Command Skeletons and bring one of them back.
Okay, so you are currently, in the process of this harried combat. You reach over to find one of the corpses, mostly eaten, and as you draw forth kind of the undeath from within, you watch as this body, suddenly a skeletal hand kind of almost pushes through its own flesh. It's like watching a skeleton claw its way out of the body that once contained it. And the bones that were once broken and pulled apart snap together until eventually you watch this humanoid skeleton and all of it still gashed and clawed glory stand right next to you.
Gruesome. I also love how you have a spot for. I can name this skeleton.
Yes, you can if you want to.
It's a pet of some sort.
Yeah.
Like that would be great to,
Well, what's his name?
God, what do you think would be spell slots? That's his name. Yeah, spell slots. Because I will be out of him soon.
You trying to find the right one gave me a vision of being at the grocery store going like, which one's the right avocado? No, squeeze.
That skeleton right there.
Yeah.
This got some good bones.
All right. Your
Yeah.
skeleton can take a turn if he wants to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On this turn? Okay. I'll send him out to go hit one of those bad guys that's running after.
You got it. So the skeleton immediately after forming up, lunges forward and takes a swing at one of the ghouls.
14?
14 does hit, actually.
wow.
So go ahead and roll damage.
3.
3 damage. Not a whole lot, but doesn't hurt either.
Bow slots, come
beating
on.
it.
He's so cute. Yeah, play with him.
Oh, slots.
Bow slots is smaller than the other skeletons.
But he's trying his best.
He's just like really
Exactly.
tiny.
Perfect. That finish your turn, Laszlo?
As a bonus action, I want to, while I'm still down there looking for corpses, I want to cast Bone Armor.
Okay, go for it.
Nice.
So, from the other corpses that you did not choose from, two of the other nearby ones, you watch as sections of their bone begins to also pull out of the flesh, the soft, easy to tear through flesh, and then begin to assemble around you like this suit of white, pale, somewhat bloody armor.
I love it. 6.
All right, so you have 6 temporary hit points from that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Finishing Laszlo's turn, Toro, you're up. Mordred, you're on deck.
Okay, I'm gonna just really pissed off at these ones that are here. I'm gonna push the one that's on me off. I'm gonna spend 12 hatred to do rapid fire.
You
And
got
just
it.
go just full on every moving body that I can see. So the one that's on me, first one, that was cocked. Okay, that is 13.
13 to hit, you said?
Yeah, to hit.
That hits.
And let's see, these are d6 plus 2. Ugh, 3 damage on that one.
3 damage. All right. He's still standing. This is the same one you shot earlier.
Yes.
He's like riddled with holes in the...
15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, that should do it. 8 damage.
Poof, takes him out. Falls to the ground.
Okay, that was 2 shots.
4 more attacks.
To the one that's... actually, I'm gonna go to the ones that are on Laszlo. Okay. 18 to hit.
There's only one left on Laszlo. The other one's rushed towards... Or I
Okay.
think actually all of them rushed towards Mordred. Yeah.
The backs are probably towards me, though.
All right, the ones that are rushing away
Okay.
from Laszlo. So 18 to hit on that one.
That hits.
That's 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. That one's still standing, but it's real rough.
I'm gonna hit him again. Ooh, yikes. 11.
11 does not hit.
Okay, I'm
Goes
gonna
wide.
shoot at him again. That should do it. 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that's 8 damage.
That one falls.
And I've got one more shot to the next one that I can see. That's 7. So 12 to hit.
12 just hits.
Great. 3 damage.
3 damage. All right, so after you angrily turn around, channeling your hatred, just unleash this barrage of crossbow shots in the direction. You watch as 3 of these creatures fall to the ground, no longer moving. You steady yourself.
Filth.
Perfect. That finish your turn?
Yeah, that finishes my turn.
All right, Toro's done. Mordred, you're up. Remy, you're on deck.
I heft my shield and it begins to emit white radiant fire, and I will use Shield Bash, and I will charge one of them, and any of the others that are within 5 feet of it must all make a dex save and take holy damage.
You've got it.
By the light be damned!
You watch as the shield suddenly begins to fill with this radiant energy, and with a sudden impacting blast, like iron on stone, this echoing explosion across the inside of this crypt catches your ears as you see this flash of energy. What's the damage on this?
20 points if they fail.
Good roll. Well, that's a fail. Fail. Oops. Fail. And fail. With that final flash, you watch as the bodies go flying and the few still standing ghouls are scattered in pieces across the far end of this chamber as silence once more takes the interior of this dungeon.
And turn back into my human form.
That was a nice warm-up.
But I think it's agreed. Next time we walk into a hallway, we check the ceilings. That was unnecessary.
But it was fun.
I know. Feeling really good, actually.
You're not the one covered in goblin parts.
No, I actually look pretty damn good. All right, shall we? Continue on.
This is the end of the hall, actually. It ends here at the bodies. It narrowed and then came to a finishing end.
Well, we went the wrong way. Turn around.
Is there anything else here? Any clay pots?
There are 3 pots, no chest. There are the tattered corpses and the 3 pots.
I
That's all
read
there
one
is.
of them. Is somebody else gonna claim the other pot?
I'm going for it. I don't want to magic missile one of the pots.
All right, you'd have to
grabbing
teleport there.
air.
I'm just saying, because right now there is a weregator that is just wading into them.
Can I use my maul action to maul the clay pot?
I'll allow it. You don't gain any spirit from it, but you can.
I've got
All
a
right.
whole sheet of unpopped
20
bubble
feet.
wrap for you.
Yeah, okay, you can do that.
Okay, I want one
All
pot.
right,
I
there you go.
claim
So one
All right.
pot bursts with a blast of arcane energy from your magic missile, causing it to scatter across the chamber. 4 gold drops from that one. Yes. The 2 are the ones that you tear into, Remy. One of them contains 40 gold pieces, and the other is empty.
Okay, well that was worth it.
It is strange, though. Most things you hit in this world do tend to erupt into gold coins.
I agree.
How's
try-
that strange?
I try not to question it, but where do they come from? I once hit a waffle, and it turned into 3 gold coins.
We're like one
Why would
act
that
away from the
be?
Truman Show right here. Video game.
Maybe there's like another realm, you know, where there's just piles of gold.
Pocket
A
dimension.
distant
Yes.
echo of some distant screech suddenly cuts you off this deep metaphysical conversation. Knowing
Yeah.
Did it sound like it came from the left or the right,
You hear
Pat?
that? The narrative
perception.
structure is calling us.
I feel a deep calling.
9.
to tell, it sounded pretty muffled, but nothing beyond that really.
Did you hear the call? Something's around.
Which direction?
I don't know. I couldn't tell. It was muffled.
Did anyone else hear it?
No, you guys were having conversations.
Oh, we were talking about metaphysics.
I'm gonna go back out to where the 3 branches start.
Okay.
Back it up,
Yeah.
everyone.
All right. So you're back at the T intersection, facing the other direction. You have right and left.
I'm gonna hold my my wrist up and let my snake lick the air and see if it points in a certain direction.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. The snake is unfamiliar with crypt environments and is uncertain how to tell which direction to go.
It's all right, baby. You'll get it someday.
It slithers sadly back onto your wrist.
Familiars can sometimes be disappointing.
I'd like to press my ear to the ground,
Jewelry.
Okay.
see if I can hear where the call and rumbling is coming from.
Okay. Make perception.
Nice try. Simon.
Okay. 19.
19, not bad. As you put your ear against the stone in the ground, you hear faint scraping noises from both directions.
Which scraping sounds eviler?
There's more of them to the right. A more independent and fainter one to the left.
Okay. The right seems dangerous. The left also seems dangerous. Take your pick.
What are you feeling?
I'm feeling if we're looking for some fun, we go to the right. If we're looking to stay safe, we go to the left.
Right it is.
Let's go to the right.
You guys are psychopaths.
Yeah.
All right. You all traveled to the right, and for about 15 feet, as you all have your weapons at the ready, eyes peeled, you come upon a massive, solid iron door. It has chains pulled across the front of it and a heavy lock affixed to it.
I actually might be able to handle this. I'm gonna try and pick it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20, add your dexterity modifier.
Okay. My dex, just my
Just your dex mod.
straight dex. Okay. Oh, poop! That was almost great. 15 total. Or sorry, 13 total.
13.
Rolled an 8.
Okay, with the 13, you watch as your awesome, bad on her home turf demon hunter gets down and takes out her thieves' tools.
Yes.
And with a whip of the wrist, achieve nothing. It is not budging.
Do we need to get a key?
What about your horns?
Nope, just give me a moment. I just punch it. I just try and punch it like the fawns.
Make a strength check.
Toro.
So why couldn't have that been my luck picking check? What's my strength? Oh, I have no, but 18.
18. Good roll. Your knuckles are bleeding.
Blast. Yeah, I think we need to find a key.
But with the heavy impact against an iron door, the echo on the other side definitely reverberates throughout the nearby chambers. You get the sense that what any sort of sense of surprise you may have had at this point, you've definitely made your presence known in the proximity of this door.
It was the door's fault.
Well, if the surprise is ruined, I'll just magic missile the lock.
Okay.
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll some damage.
All right, just damage.
Or-
I don't even need to roll to hit.
Roll the hit just in case.
Okay.
Because I like ones.
Okay. 17. Does
17.
that hit a door?
It hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage.
I shall. 4 plus 2. 6.
Okay. You blast it once, and kind of glancing at it, this is a very heavy door. And while the magic missile, the arcane blast from it is generally pretty powerful against softer, fleshier things, it's not really gaining any purchase against this door's lock, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's the door's fault.
Find another way around.
Maybe there's a key down the other hallway.
To the left.
Look for keys all the while.
Yeah.
Place my hand on the door before we go. We'll play later.
Doors.
Spell slots goes like,
Oh, spell slot.
All
Glad
right.
you're with us, buddy.
Spell slots is the best.
He's my favorite character in the story.
Continuing onward in the other path, this is a relatively lengthy hallway that continues on for a bit. There are pots here, but they're already broken.
Oh.
What? You do eventually, quietly, come upon a left-hand turn, and in the next hall you can just faintly hear movement, scrambling, footfalls and shifting, scrapes against the stone.
Is there anything on the ceiling?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Someone knows the secrets of the pots.
It's a very competent 4.
Glancing up at the ceiling above, which it only hits about a 10-foot ceiling at this portion of the tunnel, and with the torchlight you do carry, you're pretty sure there's nothing on the ceiling, but who knows?
We're absolutely safe.
I'm gonna kind of scurry
Yeah,
ahead a
peek
bit.
around.
Yeah. Can we see what's making that scurrying noise ahead?
And we like,
Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
One by one, the heads appear in a totem. You can see in this next chamber a cluster of pots and small cases, all open or broken in various states, and there is a dressed humanoid you see from the back that is currently like rummaging through one of these right now. You can see some coins spill out of his grasp and quickly reaches down and snatches them and puts them within a pocket, and it's just talking to itself.
treasure goblin? Is this
oh my god, is
treasure
it?
goblin?
Is it a treasure goblin?
It's hard to see from the side.
Kill him! I just yelled.
Roll attack. roll attack.
Get away! I blocked the door, though. Blocked the hallway so we can't run.
Roll to attack twice.
Actually, would I get hatred for this?
It is the first round of combat.
Actually,
you,
no, I can't. I wouldn't have enough hatred. So no, hungering arrow, hungering arrow. Okay, those are both. That's a natural 20 and an 18.
A natural 20?
Yeah.
That's a critical hit. So yeah. Roll damage on both, doubling the dice damage on the first one.
Okay. What do I roll? New class. Okay, first one. That's a 4, so 8 doubled plus 5, so 13. Wait, no.
No.
21.
Yes.
8 doubled plus 5.
No. 4 doubled.
So got you. So
Plus
4 to
5.
8. So 8 plus 5. Yeah, that brings it to 13.
13
Yep.
damage on the crit, and then for the other one, I rolled a 1 on damage, so 6 total.
Gotcha. Okay, so 19 damage total.
Yeah.
So as you come to the corner, fire both of these, the individual turns around and you see for a brief second, just a dude, in just normal clothes, with a small package, who just like goes, what?
Treasure
Just spits blood out of his mouth, and there's these 2 crossbow bolts in his chest. He's like,
Oh dear.
Oh.
Was I not supposed to?
he falls onto the ground and he's like bleeding out.
Run over. Run over to him. Do you have a key to the lock on the other side?
Who are you?
Oh,
spitting blood up.
Wait, just let him die, and then
Consecrate the
Laszlo.
ground under this man.
Really? Okay. Okay.
He starts to heal. So does anybody else standing around him.
Ooh, we're getting healed. Okay.
I'll take
4 rounds of 1d6 + 2.
What were you saying, Indra?
I was gonna say if you just let him die, Laszlo could have just talked to him. It would have been much easier.
He begins to heal up a little bit in his wounds.
take the arrows out.
He sits up. He's like,
No. What do you want? I can stop. I have to get it to him.
and goes over and grabs the bag and goes, like, ignoring you entirely, goes back to the boxes and starts just, like, taking whatever he can find and throwing it into the sack.
Kid, what? For whom?
For the child. It needs all the treasure valuables.
Don't even think about it.
His eyes glance past all of you as his wounds heal him back to full.
Whoa.
I just transformed my arm into a crocodile arm. I'm aware of crocodile. That means my arm's
I know.
I mean, it's like a crocodile arm.
Fair enough.
Is anyone else picturing the crocodile with fur, though? Me too.
Sanctuary ecology is a little different than Earth ecology. Crocodiles here be furry.
Whatever
Okay.
you want to picture.
Wild look in his eye. He's surrounded by 5 well-armored dungeon delvers at this point. He is wearing normal clothing and currently holding on one hand this kind of half-open bag, and the other pulls at a dagger and goes,
Give me your belongings.
Pull up
Give me your
my
valuables.
crossbows and point them at him.
Onyx is very happy at all of this. Kill him again. Do it again.
See, Onyx knows what's up.
Honestly, you're about 5 seconds from that being your reality if you don't stop and tell us what you're doing.
He'll kill me if I don't bring enough back for him.
Who's the child?
A child below.
Through the door with a lock.
Beyond I
So you have a key.
maybe.
Tell you what,
It.
we'll bring all your treasure to the child for you.
No. I have to do it. I have to.
All right, well, how about in exchange, you can come with us?
Okay. And when we get there, you'll give me your belongings.
Sure. What's your name?
Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny,
Nice to meet you, Johnny.
Yeah, give them to me.
Not now.
Okay, but then.
Sure.
Okay.
and he hits the bag up over one shoulder like this half-crazed Santa gnome figure. Blade still out in front.
So go on, I'm following.
I really did think he was a treasure goblin.
I did too. I was about to confirm all of my theories for this other dimensional realm just filled with gold and treasure. I was this close. I know it's real.
I'm regretting my choice to bring this man back from the brink.
Looks over at you with this, like, mostly gum-filled occasional tooth grin.
Well,
It reaches into his pocket and pulls out this long rusted key and goes,
Here.
pulls his dagger out.
Lay down.
You know what? Have a seat. If you want me to be able to help you all, I need to meditate for a while.
How long?
30 to 60 minutes.
oh,
Really?
what?
We just got started.
No.
We'll just do a montage. It's fine.
What's a montage?
Well, it's a great hotel.
It's been a bunch of activities I've partaken in a very long period of time. It's shortened down into a much more easy to grasp scenario for the audience.
I like
Johnny
saying that
spell
with
slots
like
play cards.
arrows in
Oh, I
him
love
too.
it.
Toro does push-ups.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you taking a rest here?
If the game and the group will allow.
That's up to you guys. I'll just mark it here.
Marking it.
Things are happening below.
It's up to you. It's skin off your backs, not mine.
All right. I guess fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We could ask our little friend a little bit more about. I'm sorry, Johnny.
We're not going. We're not moving.
Well,
30 minutes.
you were hurt, and he had to heal you, so now he needs to rest.
It could have been avoided if we just let him die, like I said, but whatever.
Not wrong. Well,
He's just rummaging through his bag. He's kind of ignoring your questions for a moment. He's just kind of checking, counting things.
What is it? Okay.
spell slots. Do you know any good musical routines?
Laszlo is not excited about spell slots. He has become a stepdad overnight.
He's getting all the attention.
Laszlo's not very happy about spell slots. But what did you ask? I'm sorry.
If he knows any good musical numbers.
Hey, buddy. Can you like play those things like a xylophone or you know any like Kanye or you know what can you do? What is like his
Sir Kanye of the Zakarum was a very well-known traveling bard crusader.
Just deep tracks? God, spell slots. Some hits.
This skeleton mainly sits in like a dark wave house vicinity, so it's not quite hitting the right vibe for you, unfortunately. But it's the only skeleton you got at the moment, so we'll say you finish your 30-minute period of time of rest, which, when it comes to an end, as you all stand at the ready, you can see that Johnny is looking very impatient at this point, kind of pacing, going, come on, to himself, his eyes looking at nothing in particular, and you hear this, like, distant shriek down the distance down the hallway, this, like...
Oh, come on.
That was really cool.
Creep.
So, what do you do?
All right, you feeling better?
Come on, auto-tune skeleton. Let's go.
It's not even early Kanye. It's later Kanye.
All right, as you head back towards the large iron door, indeed, the key does open it. And as the door opens to the side, you can see within the next portion of the chamber, the hallway curves to the right slightly. And following it with the light, eventually you see that opens into wide archways and this kind of faint glow of candlelight that greets you on the opposite side. You can see a beautiful display of large statues depicting angelic figures, a central one in heavy armor and hood that's looming over a wide staircase, the hood itself empty, sword in front. You can see this staircase descends below, but standing before this armored figure, you see a humanoid shape wearing its own kind of haphazard armor turned away from you, and as it spins, you see this skeletal entity wearing old, rusted, dusty Herodric armor. As it looks back towards you all, as you spin around the edge, it kind of... And as it kind of races its hands, you hear the sound of scratches as the walls, you now notice, are filled, ceiling to floor, with stone tombs that begin to spill. The lid spilling open as skeletons scramble out in your direction and begin to swarm towards you as the one armored skeleton begins to curl its hands in the air, and you see arcane runes beginning to swirl on the floor in front of it. I need all of you to roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Whatever, we got a skeleton too. It's fine.
It's true. All right. Top of the round, Remy and Laszlo are up. You can see now there's this one central armored skeleton that stands taller than the rest that is currently in the process of some sort of dark purple incantation. You see the energy swirling off of it and the rune on the ground in front of it beginning to brighten. You can see now 4 other skeletons that have crawled out of the tombs, drawing like rusted weapons and beginning to scatter their way towards you. And in the back of the room, 2 of the skeletons that fell, bringing a total of 6, have bows and arrows that begin to and reach back, pulling them taut. So,
here we go. 8 d8s and heartbreak.
What are you two doing?
I'm gonna whip my arm up, and my snake's gonna shoot forward from my arm, and a spiritual blade is gonna shoot forward towards the armored creature.
Oh,
And I'm
cool.
going to cast Wind Shear.
You've got it. Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack for that. Which one? The one in the armor?
Yes.
Okay.
17 to hit.
That indeed hits.
So that's 3d8.
And Matt, you said there was one big baddie and two.
2 archers and then 4 melee skeletons.
Okay. And one big baddie?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So 11 damage.
11 points of damage. Not bad.
Ooh, but my movement is increased by 10 feet until the end of my next turn.
Indeed. So you have some faster movement, and don't forget you generate 8 spirit from that.
Yes.
Alrighty. So as the blast of razor sharp wind arcs out from your hand, you see it strikes the creature and actually shears off part of its shoulder armor. It kind of cracks in the bone. You can see a sustained damage from the impact, but it still stands there, continuing to cast, its arms still undulating in space.
How far away is it from me now?
You guys are right at the entrance, so that's about 15 feet from you. And the melee skeletons are quickly rushing in, kind of at the same plane. The archers are about 30 feet from you in the distance.
I'm gonna run forward since I've got extra movement speed now, and I'm gonna run forward and I'm gonna run towards the armored guy, just straight into the middle.
Easily enough.
And I'm gonna, for a bonus action, cast Swarm at him.
You've got it. All right, as you rush forward towards the front, you know, in your awesome druid, swamp druid form, dart towards it. As you do, you bring your arm up, and out of the inside of your outfit, these insects begin to crawl out and then just whip around this creature. Would you roll to attack?
15 plus 7.
15 plus 7 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage for that.
Uh, 6 points of additional
Points
damage.
of damage. You got it. It's swirling around inside. Since this is not a fleshy creature, you can hear them like buzzing and hitting the inside of the rib cage and the armor from the interior. It's sustaining damage, but not as much as you would hope given the circumstances. But nevertheless, you are now there right up in front of it. You can see within its deep sunken dark sockets these faint points of glowing purple energy, matching the same arcane force that it's currently calling to it. That finishes your turn. So you are right in the center now, and all eyes are currently on you. Laszlo, what are you doing?
Yeah, as Remy starts to run forward, Laszlo gets down on one knee and starts punching the cement, and I'm going to cast Death Nova.
Ooh.
So all this smoke is like kind of coming up above him, or below him, I guess.
You've got it.
So it's a DC 15 Constitution save.
It is. It's also all creatures, just so you know.
Yeah.
That does include your friends too, so you're going to want to try and maneuver.
Yeah, so if he's 15 feet, is she right at 15 feet, or is she at like 10 feet?
She's 15 feet ahead of you. You'd have to probably go far to one side or the other to try and avoid her.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. right or left corner?
Left. We've been avoiding left this entire game, so...
You got it. To the left. You Zoolander it over to the left-hand corner, punch the ground, and this green energy swirls up, and with the impact, darts outward as all this toxic, poisonous, magical energy radiates outward. It swarms into and hits the 2 skeletons and the central skeleton to minimal effect. Go ahead and roll damage.
12.
12 damage. All right. You've got it. It hits them, and you watch as they withdraw from this. They do all fail their saves, but even so, poison doesn't seem to have the same impact on skeletal entities, and you realize in that moment, like, dang it. Did some damage, but not as much as you had hoped. And spell slots can take his turn as well if you'd like.
Spell slots!
Getting ready for it. Yeah, he's going to make a melee attack at the closest one.
You've got it. All right.
11.
11 does not hit. He goes, and arcs wide, and it just kind of hits off the bones. Now it's just skeleton and skeleton slap fight.
He's a college dropout.
Hey, I'm in the room for a lot of us. All right, that finishes your turn, Laszlo?
Yes.
All right, Mordred, you're up.
Yes. I'm going to charge in and run up alongside of Remuil, and as I do so, I'm going to recite the laws of justice so that I and my companions are resistant to cold, fire, and lightning damage for a bit. takes away 4 points of wrath, and I will punish the big baddie with 2 swings of my Morning Star.
You've got it. As a note for you as well, which I just recall, after you strike the creature, this insect swarm around it, this like pulse of energy comes off of it, and you watch as these kind of like arcane needles shoot out in your direction. And you did, on that one, you took 5 points of fire damage as they blast on you. It seemed to almost reflect some of the damage back at you. What are you doing on your turn?
So bonus action for Laws of Justice, which gives resistance. I don't know if it was in time for cold
Not for her, but it will for the next round.
Okay, Cold Fire and Lightning to the start of my next turn.
You got it.
And then I used Punish, so I got 2 attack actions essentially, and I got 22 on both.
Both of those hit? Yeah.
All right, so that is 1d8. 5 and 5, 7. 6 is 13. And
this is against the armored one? The armored one or standard?
Against the
You got it.
Cast
All right.
cast. So that buffs up my own AC a bit and charges my wrath again, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay, that was 13 damage from both of those together?
All told, yeah. 13 total.
You got it. Alrighty. So as you go ahead and strike with both of those, your flail kind of hitting at the side, and then once again over the top of the shield, each impact blasts into, and you can see it reel from the impact, and that same arcane energy seems to fire that damage back out at you as these 2 spears of burning white-hot magic. That is a 13, I believe, misses you? No. But a 24 does hit you.
That hits.
You take... It would be 7 points of fire damage, but because of your resistance, it reduces it to 3.
Nice. Good call.
All right. Finishing up Mordred's turn, it is now Kresh the Unforgiven's turn.
Kresh?
The Unforgiven.
Kresh
The armored skeleton you can see now finishes its casting, and as it does in the center of the floor, a new skeleton appears. You get the sense this one can just bring more skeletons.
That's a sense we get, guys.
You get a sense of that. It's a weird thing. Weird thing about that one. Let's see if that recharges on its turn. Yeah, it recharges. Okay. It is going to then do a burning dart as it's standing right there, and it's going to go ahead and fling the dart at you since you're the one who first came at it, and you're the one... no, actually it's going to go for you since you're the one who did the most damage to it. Natural 19. That puts it at a 23 to hit.
Yes.
Alrighty. So you take 10 fire damage, reduced to 5 as it blasts into your face. The shield catches part of it, and the rest of your lawful defense manages to shrug it off.
It feels good.
Finishing its turn, that brings us to Toro and Indra.
Do you want to go first, or?
What is the new skeleton holding? Is it a melee or is it an archer?
That is a melee.
Okay.
Giant execution is axe, actually.
Why did I ask?
Cool.
You can go first.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna slowly walk up, drawing my crossbows, and I'm gonna say, "If it bleeds, you can kill it." And I'm gonna cast Marked for Death.
But they don't.
Well, the big it bleeds a little, right?
It bleeds a little, guys.
You all go, yeah.
And I'm gonna do Hungering Arrow Pew Pew.
You got it.
The whole group is like, yes, and.
Don't stop for improv.
You know what? I don't want to yuck your yum. Go for it.
It's not my fault. This is the lines that they're set for this ability. All right.
All right, so what are the attack rolls? And you're attacking which ones here?
I'm gonna attack just 2 hits at the big baddie.
You got it.
Okay, so that first one is a 17, and the second attack is a 23.
Both hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And these are extra d6s because he is marked. So for the first one, okay, that's 11 damage total.
11 damage. You got it.
For the second one,
Go ahead.
is a 13 damage total.
Nice. So as you come around and you fire twice out of the arrows, hit the armor, and you can see another chunk of armor falls off of it. The bones are now splintering from the impact of the damage it's taken. It's looking like it's having a hard time holding itself together, and all the other skeletons around it are eager to rush in and try and offer protection.
Okay.
You also notice not bleeding.
Not yet.
Yet.
Go back to the writers.
Systemic dialogue. You just gonna have to roll with it.
All right, finishing your go. Indra.
Question.
Yes.
Big Baddie
Yeah.
is here. My friends are in front of him,
Directly
directly in front of him. However, the archers are behind him.
Correct.
How close would you say these archers are?
They'd be about 15 feet from him.
Wonderful. As in a 15 feet diameter could catch both this big
Yes.
baddie and these archers.
Yes.
Cool. Then I am going to flick my hair behind my, get it caught on my lip gloss like a really cool person, and I'm going to cast a meteor right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Of all of them.
Okay.
Hoping to end this quickly. And Indra's just going to scoff as she summons a giant meteor from
Yeah.
above.
Yeah.
The
So
no?
so as you watch as Indra pulls the staff forward, scoffs frustratedly, and kind of spins her staff in the air. You're all engaged in these skeletons, but you hear this horrible tearing sound, and you all can't help but glance up as in the air above this staircase and where this battle is taken, you see a sliver of reality is suddenly carved and open, and you see a dark expanse of stars and purplish blue mist. And from that, a bright light as a flaming rock apparates out of it and slams into the top of the staircase and explodes. You can see flame just spirals around and almost engulfs both of you at the front of this battle, but just manages to just singe your eyebrows. You don't have any eyebrows, so you don't have to worry about that, but it does catch you a little off guard.
Not a single hair on my body.
Go ahead and roll damage on that.
I had to bring out extra D6s for this one. Good lord. Ooh, 12. Who's good at math here?
No.
Spell slots.
Just say it. Just say it.
Okay, 12 plus 8 plus 5 plus 5
30.
plus 7.
37 points of fire damage.
37
All right.
points of fire damage.
And your spell DC on that one?
16 dex.
Got it. Failure on Crash the Unforgiven. Failure on the Archer.
Love hearing it.
Failure on the other
Love
Archer.
hearing it.
As the flames and explosion die down for a second, the next sound you hear is the clattering of scattered bones raining down from the opposite side of the chamber as the two archer skeletons are blown apart and thrown across the opposite side. The central skeleton, the armor, you now see as it looks out, the purple light in its eyes blinks out, and the bones scatter on the inside, hitting the ground, destroyed.
Andrew just kind of brushes off some dust on her shoulder and she's like, pathetic.
The big guy? The big guy?
Yeah, he just fell to the ground. But there are still 4 other skeletons, 5 technically, one with a giant axe.
Okay.
And it's now their turn.
Where's our dude? Where's the dude we came in here with? Is he hanging back?
Oh, yeah.
He's not in the middle of this battle. He's just back in the hallway.
He's back there?
Yeah, with his dagger, like, "Ah! I'm Johnny! Ah! What do you want from me?
That's his one-liner. I'm Johnny.
I'm Johnny!"
He's in his own movie right now. Right?
Exactly. Well, it's proper NPC. Once you cycle the dialogue, he just has the one thing he says to you. I'm Johnny! I'm Johnny! 2 skeletons rushing up towards you, Remy. Going to strike. Oh, that's a natural 20. That's 8 points of physical damage. And the other one is going to be I'm rolling pretty well. A 20 to hit. 4 points of physical damage. So a total of 12 against you.
Cool.
Other 2 are rushing up against you since you're right in the front.
Yes.
That's a 10, which misses. And another natural 20. Oh! You take 8 points of physical damage from that secondary strike.
Okay.
And they're just swarming at you, hacking away, and the one with the executioner's axe. Let's roll to see which one of you goes after.
All right.
You.
I'm sitting there going,
Just looking over at him suggestively.
So here's the thing.
If it bleeds, you can kill it.
They're aware. As the 2 skeletons are rushing at you and you're fighting them off, you can't help but in the background see the one skeleton kind of glance up at you, its head cocked to one side as it slowly lifts this massive axe that weighs immense amounts.
oh no.
What's up, buddy?
Large swing right into the ground about a foot from you. Not a great aim on this skeleton. Probably not used to using an axe and just completely whiffs entirely and kind of looks at you.
This is awkward. I feel bad for you.
And is now wedging it out of the ground while he brings us back to Remy and Laszlo's go.
So wait, are they in a line?
They are pretty close to a line, yeah. I'd say 3 of them are in a line.
Doesn't matter. Can't do it anyway. Hold on. But they're close to each other. They're
Yes.
within 5 feet of each other.
3 of them are, yes.
Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna find a big piece of rock from some of the pile of meteorite that fell down.
You got it.
I'm gonna lift it up and cast landslide on 3 of the creatures in front of me.
All right.
And hopefully including the one with the giant executioner's axe.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack for all 3 of them. Executioner's axe and the 2 next to him.
Okay.
Get it, Stevie Nicks.
Oh, he beat me to it. And if you're
Ooh.
reflection.
The first one is... Oh!
Who was singing that?
Oh no, dang.
Spell slot.
The first one is 17.
That hits.
It wasn't.
Do I add anything? Oh, yes, I do. Oh, the first one is 24.
24, that definitely hits.
The second one is 13.
13 just hits.
Why do you still have your...
And the last one definitely hits. It's a 23.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll damage for... Just roll damage for each of them, yeah.
Okay.
This is individual.
3d10.
Executioner first.
3 plus 9 is 12, plus 6 is 18.
18. Other 2.
9, 15, 17.
Okay.
5 plus 6 is 11 on the last one.
Got it. Okay. So, as you pull up a chunk of the meteor that was summoned through space by Indra, you lift it up into the ceiling. And with the crack and impact, it brings elements of dirt and earth and rock from above. And as it slams down into that central space, broken apart from the multiple impacts, it causes this shower of sharp shards of rock, stone, and whatever piece of the nearby structure was kind of carved free from it. And as it does, you watch as the executioner skeleton axe high in the air for a secondary strike is smashed beneath it and flattened into a bunch of broke pieces of bone. The 2 of the skeletons to its side kind of look up and are simultaneously smashed as well.
Yeah.
You're down to 2 skeletons. That brings us to you, Laszlo.
Cool. Are they in a row at all?
These they're in a row, but they're distant from each other.
Okay.
Like they're on opposite ends, about like I'd say 30 feet from each other.
Okay. I'm just gonna run up to one, place my hands on its head, and siphon its. Well, can I siphon its blood? Does it have blood?
Siphon life.
Life.
It's
Yes.
a little more of its essence in the
Exactly.
because video game.
19.
19 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Mordrin, you're on deck.
10.
10 damage. That does it. As you reach out and extend your hand towards it, you watch as its skeletons shake, and what faint bit of magic that still remains holding it animated is pulled away. And as it does, the skeleton seems to almost implode your direction, sending bones scattering to the ground by your feet. And you heal up 1d4.
Ooh, awesome. 4.
There you go.
And I'm gonna sell, while I'm doing this, spell slots is running to the other side.
To hit the other dude?
To hit the other dude.
You got it.
It's so sad because I'm picturing him a lot smaller than the other guy. Let's see what he does.
He's trying so hard.
He's trying
It's
so
like-
hard. Yeah.
The way you keep describing him, I imagine him in like Yeezys. Like
Yeezys and joggers.
14.
14 does hit.
Okay, cool.
Let's go ahead and roll damage. This last standing skeleton.
Oh, 3. He
3
rolled a 1.
damage. Oh, big old heavy fistfall poof, into the skeleton. Takes the hit, but still standing. It's looking damaged, but it's still standing. That finishes. You go, or what else you got?
And I'm gonna cast Devour again. If there's a bunch. No, they're not corpses. Sorry,
Well, yeah.
they're skeletons.
They're
Do they count as corpses?
they are, technically would not count as corpses
Okay.
in this instance. Yeah.
Then that's it.
Sorry.
Philosophical
Alrighty.
question. Are skeletons corpses?
yeah.
So 2 are up right now, yeah?
1 is up.
One, just one?
Yes.
I just always stop my morning star and say, I hate to do it. No, I don't.
Is this pulverize?
First, this is, nope, just
Oh, punish,
punishing
sorry.
again.
Punish, yeah.
Ooh, very low roll for the first. That's a 10.
10 misses.
And a very low roll for the second, so I hated to do it, so I don't do it. 12 for the
12 does hit.
Does hit?
Yeah.
Oh.
Skeletons don't have the huge AC necessarily.
No, but it's a 1 on the damage, so 4 points of physical damage.
4 points of physical damage. Still standing. It's like you do about as much damage as spell slots, kid. The skeleton kind of looks back at you.
Trying to blow it over the rest of the way.
It's mad dogging you from its eyeless sockets. Kresh is gone, so now it's Toro and Indra.
Oh. All right, I'll just look at Indra and be like, mind if I do the honors?
Go for it.
And just pull out a dagger and just... And I'm gonna do my impale.
Go for it.
Come on, 17 or 20? I got a 19! Or an 18! That's a crit!
That's a crit.
Ah! You can't see! They're far from each other!
Your expression says it all.
So it gets a critical hit on a 17 or a 20.
Yep.
Or 17 through 20.
So as you-
And it's 2d12 damage. Wait, let me get another d12. I never get
The
to do
skeleton
this.
with 1 hit point left is
Is gonna
Oh,
hit.
just wait for it.
Socially distant D&D.
Here we go. I never get to roll d12s. This is awesome. Okay. So that's 9 damage, so 18 plus 5.
23 points.
So 23 points of damage.
This skeleton is like taking blow after blow, and it's standing resolute against you and your companions around you. As it turns towards you, the dagger comes towards it, and as time slows, it sits there and contemplates in that final moment.
Gary Jules playing.
Yeah.
Mad
World.
right now.
It considers nothing because it's a skeleton. It has no mind. Whereas the other skeletons exploded into chunks of bone, the dagger just impacts, and as it hits the ground, it turns to dust. The sheer force of it causing whatever possible undead willpower held it together to just atomize.
You just hear my dagger go ding, ding, ding.
I think that's all of them.
That wasn't too bad.
Technical question.
Yes.
Since it was both of our turns at the same time, do I still get that 6 arcane power?
You get it back regardless outside of combat. You're the few that generates. You're usually at full arcane power at the beginning of the fight. The problem is, a lot of your things cost a lot.
But, so what we're saying is by the next fight I'll have full arcane power?
You will.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There you go.
That's
The fun
good
thing about
to
wizards,
know.
they don't have to build up their resources. You start full, but you got to be careful what you use.
Yeah, it's meteors. You know,
Indeed.
Whatever.
Meteors.
Alrighty. So, checking the body of Kresh amongst the armor, you do find a couple of items because it's Diablo, and that's one of the cool parts about it. You find a magical ring of silver and gold inlay, and beneath its helmet you could see this kind of burial shawl or hood that it was keeping it there that seems to shimmer in the torchlight. The shawl is considered the Shawl of the Forsaken, and it gives whoever wears it a +1 to hit on any of their abilities that roll to hit. The ring is the Ring of the Zakarum, which gives a +1 to your armor class and saves while it's worn.
As the one who casted the meteor that took out this here, can I lay clay to the ring?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, so AC and saves go up by 1. Who would like the Shawl of the Forsaken?
I mean,
I'm good with faith.
Anyone feel like they need a little boost to their attacks?
We're good as well. Onyx is so polite.
What about you, spell slots?
Goes to Remy.
You got it. So +1 to hit on all of your abilities.
Sweet.
Descending the stairway beyond this encounter with Kresh, the air grows slightly warmer and carries a hint of putrescence upon it. While the architecture remains a continuation of the crypt above, these walls have seen more wear and tear. Odd black iron chains dangle in places, some of them finishing in large metal hooks. The recurring cherub reliefs and holy iconography you see are often scratched out or gouged entirely from the wall around you. When the steps come to an end, you can see this is a much larger chamber, maybe 100 or so feet across, but there are 4 smaller, almost mausoleum-like doored chambers within. What would you like to do?
And they're closed? The doors are all closed?
Seems to be, yeah.
do we hear any noise? Does Johnny have any inclination of where this child is?
Johnny goes,
Oh yeah, no, it's across the way. This door's on the other side. That's where we're supposed to be.
What's behind the other doors?
The room where the child is. Come on.
And you see him start walking ahead.
Just let him go first, like 15, 20 feet. Yeah. See what happens.
Also, he didn't answer our question at all.
No.
No.
He didn't.
So we're gonna let him go and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. He walks along and picks up a gold piece and puts it in the set. Takes a few more steps.
Oh, that's nice.
Ah,
Picks up like a little candle holder, puts it in the bag.
stop it. I'd run ahead of him and kick any pots that are.
All right, so like, bring him on. It's like, no, wait. And these pots are mostly empty. He does rush off into one chamber that has an open door, and he goes, ooh, and darts in there. He's like easily distracted by his particular interest in finding worthwhile things in the vicinity. He rushes into there are the 4 chambers. You pass the first 2, and the one on the right actually is an open door, and the one on the left is partially ajar. He rushes to the one on the left and begins to push his way in, and you see him disappear inside that chamber.
Are there any screams coming from that chamber?
You don't hear any.
What about the one to the right?
One to the right? Mm-hmm. You don't hear anything coming from that one? You want to make a perception check?
Sure. 20.
As you kind of glance through and look into this open doorway, this next room, it's far more grotesque than you were expecting. You can see all across the floor there are dozens and dozens of long rotted corpses, mostly skeletal with bits of putrid flesh still hanging on the bone. There are many chains hanging from this room and bodies on hooks that have since all the meat has sloughed off. And this is it's been here for quite some time. It's been left still and filled with rot. Glancing inside in the middle of it, you see this squat, kind of tubby-looking red and black-skinned demonic creature that is sitting with tiny, scrawny legs and scrawny arms in this very, very wide midsection. Its horns are kind of curled inward, and it's just kind of sitting there chewing on a bone, going.
Does it see me?
It does not see you. Well, make a stealth check, actually, for me, if you don't mind.
Oh, good. 12.
It looks up at you, darts off into the shadow nearby.
Friend or foe?
There's a brief pause, and a voice rings out from the shadow that says, "You step into the realm of Damashal, the great eater of storms, lord of annihilation, and demon master of this dominion. Leave now, or become devoured by his immense and terrible form."
Does he sound full of...
Make an insight check for me.
Not great. 14.
It's not easy to notice. Yeah, he's full of.
Do we waste our time here?
I mean, are we supposed to eradicate all of the evil?
I am. I'm gonna go and try to drag him out of whatever cubbyhole he's in.
Make a perception check as you enter this chamber filled with bones.
Not good. 4.
You look in the room. You have no idea where this thing is. You heard the voice boom from it, but you kind of push through the chains and stuff, and the voice says, "I said, run away before it's too late! Please!"
Please.
How long have you been here?
"Since time eternal, about a year."
We're hearing about a child here. Do you know anything about that?
Make a persuasion check.
That's much better. 21.
Stepping out from this like cluster of bones that have kind of melted together as the fats of the bodies have solidified around it, he kind of pokes out at you. This sad-looking demon creature, maybe about 3 feet off the ground, kind of scutters out.
Hi. I'm Damashal, Eater of Storms, avatar form. Much bigger and dangerous in true form.
Yes.
You're looking for the child, right?
Seem to be.
He's below, but the doors are closed and locked. You need,
And he reaches behind the bodies and pulls out this like stone circular seal. He goes,
You need this.
So give it.
How about we trade? I'm very hungry. Not a lot, around here to eat anymore. Any fresh flesh?
Johnny!
he comes out around the way with like a small box, and he's like,
Oh, I found some. Yeah.
puts it in the sash.
Yes?
Someone in the room is asking for you.
Pulls a blade out. Make a deception check.
9.
What are you telling me?
Go in the room.
Make an intimidation check.
Come on, big money.
17?
17. He goes,
Oh. Of course, yeah. You know, gotta keep you all safe.
he kind of creeps in with his dagger out, walks into the room and sees the creature. He goes,
What? Oh, kill it! There's another one of them demons!
I nod and smile at our demon friend.
Make friends. Be nice.
For me.
Yeah, don't be
Okay.
rude.
the demon begins to walk forward. It's like,
Oh. What you mean?
I just close the door
No!
behind
the door closes here. And screams out of a section of the upper. What you didn't notice is on the walls there are these like faint remaining elements of stained glass reliefs that are on the top. You see a bloody hand go. Like a terrible twist on the Titanic scene as it just blood smears down the glass.
Hey, buddy, what you saw back there, that's not how people usually act. You don't have to, we're going to get some ice cream later. It's going to be fine.
Spell slots are just crying.
You know, it started as a joke, and then we just let it happen, so I'm proud of us.
A few moments pass, it grows quiet, and the door opens once more. And you see the squat demon come out, kind of picking elements of muscle from a freshly exposed bone, and goes,
Well, thank you very much. That's a fine trade. Good luck with the child.
and then tosses the stone relief to you, and
I'm gonna have leftovers for a little bit.
Oh, hey, do you have any use for that bag of gold he had? Could we take that?
Go ahead.
Thank you. All right.
okay.
I believe Mordred was in that room, so he walks out and says, blood spattered from his face.
That's true, yeah.
That was really something to see. Let's go.
All right, we go downstairs.
We need to take care of him on the way out, though. Let's.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Let him enjoy his last meal.
Making your way to the double doors on the opposite side. There it is. You can see the large angelic reliefs both facing each other, arms meeting in the center where the circular imprint currently awaits the seal that you were given. Placing it into it, the doors open and lead you into a large stone spiral staircase that descends out of view.
I was so bad about Johnny.
You're having guilt now?
Too late. I know, it's too late.
Do you want to go back and kill him? Would that make you feel better?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Just take care of the child.
Okay.
We've got some reverse healing to do. Let's go.
Partway down the stairs, you find an alcove with a stone fountain of some kind that's kind of just situated in the side. The water is still running after all this time. As you pass by at a quick glance, the waters are red and thicker than the average liquid.
Wine.
Totally.
Yeah.
Can I touch it and feel it with my fingers?
Sure.
What's it taste like?
Well, I'm feeling it first. Hang on.
Make sure you taste it as well.
All right.
Thick and somewhat viscous. The smell is somewhat iron-like.
What does it taste like, though?
I can't believe you tasted it.
It's blood. Turns out this fountain bleeds. Maybe it can die, you know? All right, let's go.
All right. Continuing down the spiral staircase.
I just like that that's how they're bonding. That was pretty good, yeah.
At the base of the stairs, you find an open arched threshold that leads into a massive shrine, long since repurposed as a catacomb. The intricate walls are lined with stone reliefs of angels and demons fighting mid-battle, rising tall to the 30-foot ceiling above, where hundreds of still-lit candles fill every open pocket. Dual curving stairs rise against the sides of the wall to climb to a risen platform where a pulpit and altar sit on top to the back wall, far from where you look up. The center of the room holds a half-dozen heavy, intricate stone tombs, carvings of ancient warriors carved atop the lids, a bit scattered in their positioning in the floor. The floor shines with thousands and thousands of gold pieces, glittering in the light between the scattered piles of bones. The air suddenly grows incredibly cold. Your breath immediately visible. The candles all flicker in unison, their flame shifting from yellow-orange to a dull blue, pale blue. You now see a spectral entity rise from the gold on the floor above. It's a child, a boy in his teenage years, his clothes dirty and tattered. His left leg seems to vanish past the knee. As he floats above within the room,
More imbeciles come to help me out. Great. The bigger the network, the easier the profit. You! See this depressingly small horde? It's nowhere near enough. Good help seems to always be a challenge to find, and you all look slightly less useless than the others. You want to live? Go! Get out there in the Western Kingdoms and bring me some real treasure.
kind of floats there awaiting a response.
Oh, I don't know about you all, but I had no plans to go to the west.
I also work for no one, so...
Just make yourselves useful.
Oh,
I need gold.
we will make
Get me
ourselves
some.
useful, darling.
His face pouts a little bit. Why is it so hard to find help? Well, at least Johnny's still out there. He'll bring me back some gold. Nowhere near close.
What do you need it for, young one?
You can see the kind of angry frustration in the face melt away for a second as the spirit's eyes go distant. I need to help her. She deserves it. I made a promise that I'd help her, and that this is nowhere near enough. I can't leave until I help her! And as that echoes through the chamber, you can see his spirit kind of flickers and grows wider, and you see the wind kind of whip up a bit.
Who is she?
Jillian. Are you going to help me or not?
We are going to help you leave this mortal coil. Come, boy. Let's play.
The spirit's eyes narrow, and you watch as the chamber's temperature drops even lower. Blue flames flicker in his spiritual eyes, and you watch as all the candles begin to dim. If you want to walk to your death, that's entirely up to you, Armored Boy. Fine. Let your spirit die in some ways like mine did. And you hear the rumbling as the bones begin to rise up and form. You watch as these massive skeletons begin to pull out of the hordes of gold.
Not quite humanoid, larger, stranger. Bipedal, but shouldn't be. Large, elongated skulls with curved horns, not unlike the one on your head, as you see massive, bovine-like skeletons holding large glaives rise, 2 of them to each side of this spirit.
The cows. It's the cows.
You want to step against the spirit of Wirt? Then fine. Join me. Everyone roll initiative.
Word.
So, at the top of this, you see the spirit of this boy Wirt angrily begin to rise and extend his hands. You see him try and push upward. It's almost like something's pulling him down, and he gets frustrated for a second. He's gonna go ahead and glance towards you, Toro, and say, well, if Johnny's not gonna help, I need someone else to help me. You! Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Saving throw?
Correct.
Come on.
Oh, Cox. Keeps getting up in that. Ooh, that's real bad. I rolled a 2 for a 3 total. Ooh.
Wow.
I think that probably saved.
Yep. Pretty low.
Blue flames now flicker matchingly in the eyes of Toro as you have become Wirt's thrall. You are charmed by him and now working on his side of the battle for the time being.
3 cows.
No, I'm not one of them.
Good, good. The right attire for the right occasion. Kill them, please, he says to the other skeletons, and continues to float up, seemingly resisting some sort of force that's holding him down, though he's still 30 feet up in the air. That is going to bring us to Indra's go.
In all of my arcane knowledge, would I know if physical or magic attack this ghost?
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Arcana or religion, your call.
What's 17 plus 8?
Good enough.
Okay, cool.
Magic of all different kinds definitely seems to have an impact on spectral entities. You would know that they probably, some physical strikes tend to not be as effective, as well as like cold and poison, seeing as how they're an undead spirit.
Good to know.
So,
Thank you.
what you got going?
I am going to look at one of the Mumu men and cast a Ray of Frost at it.
Alrighty.
Which is a... Oh, dang. Does 15 hit?
15 does hit.
Dope. That is 4d6. 5, 9,
Laszlo,
10,
you're on deck.
15 points of cold damage.
15 points of cold damage.
And this target speed is also halved.
Nice.
Awesome. So one of the hell bovines, it's now covered in frost and ice crystals across it, and you see it kind of like it's having to move and push through the parts of its body. The joints are now frozen and locked. It's definitely slowed, and it's taken a nice little hit to its body.
Dope. That's all.
Are you remaining there in the kind of the stairway entryway?
How far am I from everything right now?
You're about 20 feet from the 2 skeletal bovines. You are right next to Toro, and the ghost is about 35 feet within the chamber.
Seeing as Toro is ranged, I'm gonna stay where I'm gonna stay put for a bit.
You got it. Okay. Finishing your turn, Indra. Laszlo, you're up. Toro, you're on deck.
The opposite minion, I'm going to cast Decrepify on.
Ooh, very nice.
Cursed creature within 60 feet for 4 rounds. Their movement is halved, and any physical attacks they use deal half damage. It's a DC 15 Constitution
Nice.
at the end of their turn.
Correct. So as you reach out, expend the essence, you watch as the shadows pierce inside of it and almost pull it to the ground, like these tendrils of black and gray are now keeping it roped, and its skeletal bone structure is now fighting against it, elements of it turning to dust by the contact. Both of these are pretty hindered at the moment. Well done.
I'm going to send spell slots after that guy.
Do it.
Spell slot.
He's going as he's running up to him. 10?
10 does not hit.
It's like a soft pillow.
Yep. More of a gentle caress of the face.
And yeah, that's the end of my turn.
All right, finishing lesson soon. Toro, you're up. Your
Okay.
friends are your enemies. Your choice.
Do I get to try and save from this at the top of my
At the
turn?
end of your turn, you
At
do.
the end of my turn. Ugh. Okay. Who do I see in my nearest periphery?
You're right next to Indra. You are like right next to all your friends, essentially. You guys are still standing in the stairway where you stand. So they're like, you have to pick your litter.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna roll to see. I'm gonna say 5, 10. I'm gonna attack Mordred.
Go for it. So, as you're bearing down, looking at this, getting ready to charge in.
Wait, what are you?
Moo. Do hungering arrow.
I can't get out the way.
Two hits. Oh, I rolled low.
That's a gif if I've ever heard.
Okay,
Get out the way.
okay, so the first one is a 10 to hit, which I don't think hits. The next one is a 15. Miss?
Both of them
Both
impact and the
miss.
shield,
Okay,
no
I
impact.
rolled a 9 and a 3. Great.
All right, now go ahead and roll another wisdom saving throw.
Or no, wait, an 8. 8 plus 9, 17.
No.
Right? Am I doing this right? Yes.
plus
I
9 would be
am.
17,
So 17,
yeah.
but still no. Okay,
Still
so
no.
no, both miss.
All right.
And-
Fire twice.
Toro!
Oh no.
I'll allow it.
Things.
I'll allow it.
Different Toro. I will do my bonus action to spin discipline to do shadow power. So every time I
Okay.
attack, I heal myself.
So you watch now as the blue glowing in Toro's eyes, these black shadow wings kind of appear from the back, these like black tendrils in the shape of wings, and this kind of aura of black energy surrounds her.
Just pouring out from under the mask and the helm.
All right, that finishes your go, Toro. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
That was so 8 is
You can do it. Come on.
All right, come on. Big money. Big money. Oh my god, no. 4. Rolled a 3.
Hell, yes. Okay.
No.
That was small money.
Small money. $4.
$4? No. How are you supposed to buy chicken nuggets?
No, don't stop.
Any pots in this room?
I just go over some kicking pots angrily.
Finishing Toro's turn, the two hell bovine skeletons begin to lurch forward. They're both slowed and can only get to the very front line, which means their only target is going to be you at the moment, since you're the one in front. So by slowing them down, they can't get to any of the meatier pieces, unfortunately. So both of them swing towards you. So they both have the large glaives. One of them,
To glaive.
that's a 24 to hit.
That does kind of hit.
Indeed, you take 13 points of physical damage from the one that is slowed by you. The other one, that's going to be a 19 to hit.
Hits.
Hits again. This one, however, is decrepified by you, which means you would take 11, reduced to 5 points of physical damage from it. They both also are jailers, so you watch as suddenly I need you to make a wisdom saving throw,
Jailers?
and you make a
Real
wisdom
low.
saving throw.
Real low. That is a 5.
Your movement is reduced to 0 until the end of the next turn.
I don't need movement.
Crit fail.
Crit fail. Your movement is also to 0. You're both locked into place by some sort of strange arcane power, and your feet cannot move off the ground.
No.
That finishes their turn. That brings us to Mordred and Remy.
All right, as a bonus action, I will recite more scripture from the church and use laws of justice to grant myself and allies within 30 feet resistance to cold, fire, and lightning damage. And I will use my action to consecrate the ground we stand on. And for the next 4 rounds, we will heal. At the start of our turns, we get back 1d6 plus 2, so at the start of your turns.
You've got it. All right.
Have pity, they are all Moomin beings.
How long did you have that? How long did you have it locked in?
5 minutes.
Great for the right turn.
Alrighty, finishing your go, Mordred, unable to move from your space.
Yep.
You slammed your shield into the ground. You watch as this arcane circle apparates out in a space around Mordred, and as it does, you feel kind of the soft divine energy beginning to close any wounds as they begin to arrive. Remy, what are you doing?
Well, first I'm going to heal 3 points.
There you go.
And then I'm going to run up behind the bovine that's attacking Mordred. Actually,
right.
Mordred's probably got it handled. I'm going to run up behind Laszlo.
Okay.
Just seem a little bit smaller. But both of you are actually pretty hardcore, aren't you?
I'm pretty up, actually.
I'm gonna run up behind you. All right, the one attacking him.
All right.
It's not gonna kill him anyway. And I'm gonna, as I'm running up, turn into my crocodile form,
You got it.
and I'm gonna maul.
Go for it. Maul.
Whoa, that was aggressive. +9, so 18.
18 does hit.
All right. 11 points.
11 points of damage, alrighty. As you reach out, transforming, you reach out with your claws and bite towards it, and you take a chunk of its bone off. You can see, like, part of the ribs now broken on the inside, but it's still holding itself together. Well done. Does that finish your go?
Yeah.
Alrighty. That now brings us to the top of the round. Does Wirt's go? Wirt is now shouting out into the field, Jillian, I'm trying, but they're getting in my way. I'll stop you, for her sake. And as he raises his hands into the sky, the wind begins to whip up and the gold begins to pick up in the wind. Faster and faster. Suddenly, you're all being pelted by a storm of gold coins. I need everybody in the space to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw against his affluent poltergeist ability.
What we love
me?
most is betraying us.
Including me, I'm
Including you, yeah. And including the bovines. It's everything in
that
this.
was a good roll, though.
I got an 18.
18 is-
19.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 6.
Wait,
23.
is this how the pots get full?
So success on that one.
natural
So you take, would have been 23 points of physical damage. Instead, you take 11.
Jeebus.
What'd you roll?
Natural 20 for 22.
11 points of physical damage.
6. So
23 points of physical
Mordred's
damage.
down.
Oh no! Is the ground still consecrated?
Avenge me!
The consecration stays.
Okay, thank goodness.
Don't wait, does Mordred, he will heal as he...
At the top of
If it comes to his turn, it will.
Yeah.
Oh
Mess with
no.
the bull, you get the horns.
19. Do I have to roll for spell slots?
Dab.
Yes.
13.
Up,
13.
diagonally up and away from me.
So you take 11 points of damage, and as you're like shielding it, you look past the storm of gold coins whooping past, and you look out, and you can see spell slots turns around to you with this like, if a skeleton could make a sad face, it reaches.
In that moment, Laszlo realizes, like, you've been my son this entire time.
Only time.
The jaw gets torn off, the arm torn off, and eventually the skeleton is just pulled apart by the pelting gold coins. Gone. Gone. Gone.
23 total?
23. You take 11 points of physical damage and make another saving throw.
And make another saving
Correct.
throw. Okay. So we're gonna do 27. Just a wisdom saving throw, you mean?
Wisdom saving throw, yeah.
Roll a 3 again.
Nope. Still under his guise. All right, cool.
Oh my god.
So that finishes Wirt's turn. You can see like now this like angst in his face, this like deep sadness and anger, and is just right now conflicted in this moment. That finishes his turn. Indra, you're up. Laszlo, you're on deck.
So, back to the 15 feet thing.
Yeah.
The bovines. They are within 15 feet of each other, like next to each other.
They are. They both swarmed towards Mordred, yes.
Right. Is
You
it possible?
might, there's a chance you could hit Remy, but if you want to risk it.
I'm behind.
You're behind. Okay. Then I rescind that.
Or go for it, your call.
You know, nah. Put someone down. Oh, you said one I get a d6 plus how much?
Plus 2.
Plus
Plus
2?
two.
All right, I'm going to put that. Ooh, 6! And I'm going to Ray of Frost at the same one.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack again.
16 plus 10, 26. Does that hit him?
That definitely hits.
Wonderful. So now it's 5d6.
The damage is increasing because you're focusing the beam. Yep.
Exactly. That's 5, right? Yep. That's 6. 5, that's 16 plus 6.
It's 22.
24 points of chili.
So with that, the first bovine form you've been focusing this beam on, you watch as you're pushing and just focusing this intense arcane blast of frozen death onto it, and as it does, the ice builds up around it. It's pushing forward and pulling its glaive into the air, and it's about to bring it down before it freezes solid, and then as the coins hit it, it breaks away into thousands of tiny frozen bone fragments. Gone.
Dope.
All right, Laszlo, you're up.
Do I have a clean line of a clean line to hit that other bovine?
With a little bit of movement, you would.
Okay. Can I take that little bit of movement?
Sure.
Yeah, oh.
Shift to the side, and you now can see it. It's kind of between Mordred and Remy, and so you're now like kind of hitting them from a flank position.
Great. I'm gonna undo my coat real quick, and Laszlo reveals like his rib cage, and it starts coming out and twisting into a very long spear, right at this guy.
Alrighty.
So I'm casting Bone Spear on him.
You got it. Go ahead and for that.
He has a
to save.
DC 14. Yeah.
That's right. Dexterity save. No, natural 6. Does not save.
11 and 11. 22.
22 points of damage?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's just enough, actually. So as you come out, you form it, and then the ribs come out and form into this like spiraling drill, almost magical spear, and as it blasts into the side, you watch as it shatters the entire midsection. The pelvis and spinal column are just gone, and the rest of it kind of standing there, hits the ground and just falls apart into pieces of bone.
Yeah. And as it goes down, under his breath, he goes, "You killed spell slots." That's how origin stories start, guys.
Awesome. Finishing your turn. Toro, you're up.
So, okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to do it again. See who I hit. I had natural 20 on who to pick. So,
How much hatred you got?
10 hatred.
Okay.
So I'm going to Hungering Arrow again. Great rolls. Just great rolls. 19 for the first one.
That hits.
I want to go ahead and do damage. Great roll, 10 damage.
Okay.
And then 23 for the second one.
That
For
hits.
the second hit. 9 damage.
Okay. That's cool.
And I'm going to spend
We're still gonna be friends if you spend this. That's fine.
I'm gonna spend 6 hatred to toss down a spike trap and back up.
All right. So after you fire twice into Laszlo's side, you're like, ah! Reacting, you don't even see it at the moment, but you slip and throw this little trap right underneath Laszlo that he does not even notice.
I'm gonna hold.
All right. That finishes your turn. Both of the hell bovines are destroyed. Mordred and
Do
Remy,
I get to
you're up.
roll? I get to roll, right? To see if I save?
You do, yes.
Come on. Come on.
Big money.
Okay. There's a 15 plus my wisdom save for 16 total.
You break free of the influence of Wirt.
So I back up and I'm about to hit the detonation on the trap and I'm gonna go,
Perfect. Alrighty, that finishes your go. What are you guys doing?
Well, I heal. I rolled a 6 on a d6, so I get 8 hit points back.
Indeed. So you heal and come to consciousness on the ground. The wind still whipping around you, coins, and you can just barely see above the glowing spectral form of this infuriated child.
All right, well, there is nothing I can do to get up there, so I just... Am I still held in place from... No, the
Bovine's dead.
bovines are dead, so I can move, right?
Indeed, yeah, you're...
So I'll use half my movement to return to standing.
back up.
And I will continue to recite the laws of justice to keep up our resistance, because it's about all I can do.
Maybe Julian's under the gold. He keeps pointing down.
Should make a history check for me.
10.
10. It's hard to place, but you feel like you've come across a Jillian before. You can't quite pinpoint it, though.
She did sound familiar.
Gillian Anderson of the X-Files.
So that's your turn?
That's it, yeah.
Alrighty. What are you doing, Remy?
The only thing I can try to do is wind shear. So I'm gonna hold up my arm again, and a spectral blade is gonna shoot out towards the child.
You've got it.
That's a 27 to hit.
That does hit.
3d8. 17 points.
17 points, nice. So it does strike him, but the wind shear doesn't impact him as heavily as you would hope. The spectral form seeming resistant to a lot of physical damage.
Yeah, I can only do physical damage, guys. Sorry about that.
And so he is still sitting strong, angry, and the storm is still whipping around. That finishes your turn?
I'm gonna go with me on this.
Okay.
I'm gonna send my swarm of insects as a bonus action,
Okay.
but I'm gonna swarm them down and under the gold.
Okay.
Searching for something.
Okay. We'll come to you next round then.
Okay.
All right, coming to the top of the round, it's now Wirt's turn again. He's going to continue to whip this into a frenzy. Everyone, once again, make a dexterity saving throw.
Go down, we're good.
Boy, you're gonna go back down again?
Mhm.
Ooh, that's bad. Well, actually, it might be okay.
15?
19 points of physical damage.
Is that halved?
No, she failed.
Ooh, fails.
Okay.
And I fail.
19 points of physical damage.
19.
You take 9 points physical damage.
Mordred is down.
Oh, Mordred!
21?
You take 9 points of physical damage.
I failed 15, so.
Take 19 points of physical damage. You're getting... This is turning very badly. You're getting the sense that on a physical feature combat on combat scenario, you are at a severe disadvantage, and this is already turning against you.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to Indra.
So I'm gonna start opening a tear in the universe.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say, before I destroy all of your treasures and your gold, because I can and I will, what do you want us to do?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Come on, come on. Come on, Indra.
13.
He's at this point he's just in this rage at this point and kind of glances over towards you and goes, "You have already passed the point of being helpful by destroying my friends.
What if we get you more friends?
Just bring me gold for her. All you can find. She is too good for all of you."
Who is she? We can't help you if you don't tell us things.
You did hear
Julian, obviously.
you heard Jillian earlier.
And who is Jillian?
Or make a history check.
Nah.
Come on.
15.
15. You did come across a Jillian in Chaldeum once. She was raising a small child. This is a few years ago.
Oh, no, mommy. She was raising a small child.
The tear won't close, but Indra will kind of like lower her staff. Is that your mom?
No! Not my mom!
Sorry for assuming. Sorry for assuming.
That ends your turn. He is not happy about that.
Oh, God.
What are you doing, Laszlo?
How far up is he?
About 30 feet from you, 35
30
feet.
Oh, too far.
You can move to get closer if you want.
Even, yeah, if he's floating, I wanted to cast Death Nova again, the poison, but it's 20 feet from me.
Yeah, it's not going to reach him.
If my hair's really high, would,
Not quite, not
Jump
quite.
up in the air.
yeah, then I'm gonna try to. There's nothing I really do. This is all physical. I'm gonna bone spear him.
Okay,
Yeah,
go for it. All right, so he
dexterity save.
does not save. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. So that's a 9 plus 18.
18, all right. The spear strikes him. Once again, the spectral form kind of shimmers as it hits, but as a physical damage source, it's not doing quite as much as you'd want. That finish your turn?
That finishes a turn.
Toro, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to use my discipline to cast Mark for Death on him.
Okay.
And then, so if I brings it back down to 13. And then
Remy,
I'm going to spend 12 hatred to do rapid fire. So that brings me down to 3 hatred. Okay. All right, so 6 attacks at him.
Go for it.
All +5 to hit. So first attack is an 18, natural 18, so 23.
That hits.
Should I do these one at a time?
Just roll your attacks up front.
Okay,
One hit.
so that hits. Ooh, that's not as good. That is a 13.
Misses.
That's even worse.
Misses.
15.
Misses.
Oh my god. What is this attack for?
This is the 5th attack now.
Oh my god, a natural 1.
Misses. Last attack.
Okay, and a 13, so 18 total.
Yeah, so 2 hits.
Yikes. Out of 6. Okay. 2d6 on this one, +2. Okay. So that is 8 damage on the first one.
Okay.
Okay. And 12 damage on the second.
Okay, so 20 damage. Halved.
20 damage total.
Physical damage not quite impacting heavily on a spiritual entity.
Okay.
This is not looking good. That finishes your turn, Toro. Mordred, Remy, you're up.
Okay, Mordred comes to again.
How you doing?
As a bonus action, I will do Laws of Justice for everybody, but then I will say, "Come, child. Perhaps we can leave this place together." And I will provoke him.
Okay.
So he has to make a DC Wisdom of 14.
Natural 1.
So he's got to come for me.
Yes, he does.
And I'll just stay on the ground, smiling up.
Okay. Remy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna say Jillian. I've heard of a Jillian.
Make a persuasion check.
Big money.
With advantage, using the name.
Oh, okay.
17.
You watch as the anger and frustration in the middle of this child spirit's face goes, "You too? Where? How? Where is she?" The coins begin to slow down and fall around.
Calm down and we can tell you.
Looking back at Mordred. The coins begin to slow even further, and you're no longer being pelted like the middle of a terrible storm, and more just a gentle battering. As the spirit glides down, the candles flicker brighter once more and kind of floats there. The once extremely intense and angry, wrathful spirit now looks more age-appropriate. This child entity kind of looks at you with this kind of snot-nosed mid-teens face and goes, "What? How?
How did you get taken from her?
All of us did here. And they destroyed the town, but... I mean, she got away in time, I think. I wasn't ready. The project wasn't ready. I was saving. It's not enough. I have to keep saving. Make sure she's okay.
Child. We can take you to her. This is more gold than she could ever want.
I can't save myself from this. I can't leave. Not until I have enough. She's worth all of it.
Roll a religion check for me, if you would, Mordred.
Oh, very nice. 20.
Often, wrathful spirits that are left behind are bound by unfinished business, or the thought of unfinished business, or something is binding them there. You're not certain what the sense here is, but based on the words that he's saying, he does not feel he can leave.
much gold do you think you have here?
13,261. Not including what you brought here.
And what were you trying to build for her?
A future? Tristram couldn't provide for her. I was planning to take her with me when I got away. I know she's a little older, but I'd grow up eventually.
You were in love with her.
No! Just wanted to make sure she was okay.
Can we look in on her for you?
Make a persuasion check.
21.
Would you do that? Would you bring her this?
He gestures to the gold in the chamber.
If it will bring rest to you in this place.
The spirit kind of glides to the ground, floating just inches above it. And mimics sitting on the edge of one of the tombs, and this wrathful spirit, more than you've noticed at this point, just looks pitiful.
We're hoping to rid Tristram of this pain and suffering and rebuild. This could go a long way towards that life. Happy life for
I
Julian.
don't care about Tristram anymore. This place is ruined. Too much evil's happened here, and it's just gonna keep getting worse. But if you can...
Schmistram. This gold's for Jillian. We'll take it to Jillian.
Okay. Okay.
And with that, you see the spirit begin to fade and drift into the ground. All the rest of the gold, ting, 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 falls around the stone. And it's hard to explain, but in that moment, it feels like a tension, a thickness in the air seems to lighten. And with that, you begin to gather the coin and the treasure and all the valuables that have been gathered over time by whatever grave robbers and tomb raiders and such that have found their way into the sub-cathedral region.
I kind of dig under where he was perched at the top of the mound. Is there anything of importance under there as to why he was there?
Yeah, swarm full of bugs.
Yes. Oh, God. Oh.
Truth. What you do find is a small locket with a drawing. A not very well done drawing, but it looks to be a woman.
Okay.
Young, dark hair.
I show it to Indra and Remy. Does this look like the Julian you remember?
I just recognize the name. I really don't have any idea.
Does it?
It does, if poorly drawn.
Yeah.
It can kind of pass.
It's like the Ramona Flowers drawing.
Yeah, straight up. Just
Yeah. Put it over my neck. All right, I guess we're gonna be messengers.
Mordred shoves an empty pot into Laszlo's hands.
All this. On.
for the hours it takes to gather the treasure that is left here, you finally have the last gold piece in your grasp. And as you begin to exit up the staircase, the voice once more creeps in.
She gets every coin. Or I'll follow you for the rest of my days. I'm not above being a little for eternity.
And that's where we'll end the session.
Well, you're gonna have to follow us to Vegas because we're getting
We go straight to a priest. We all get exercise. We take all the gold.
That historically goes over really well in the land of Sanctuary.
A new friend, you know?
Yeah.
Great.
Justice for Spell Slot.
Yeah, none of you guys showed up for Spell Slot's funeral. I don't know why. We already buried him once.
What can I say about Spell Slots? He was the best among us.
He was a dirty little Kanye fan, but we loved him all the same.
I bury him like this.
He's next to his face.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining me into this rapid dungeon delve in the world of Diablo. Ran a little over. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, being ridiculous and dark and silly and fun and killing monsters.
And grave robbers.
And grave robbers. Yeah, you guys kind of hit the gamut today. It worked out well. If you want to watch this campaign again or check out any of the other amazing free content as part of BlizzConline, visit blizzcon.com. Thank you for having us. Love you very much. And is it Thursday yet?
We'll
Good
get
night.
that treasure goblin one day.